This particular technique that I have told you today will solve all your vocabulary problems. Each and every one of your vocabulary problem will be solved. Because this allows you to remember the word and use it whenever the time. Hi everyone, my name is Shalima and welcome back to my another session of learning English and improving English speaking skills and vocabulary. Because in this today's video, we are going to discuss a particular technique that can help you to improve your vocabulary within no time. Because for speaking vocabulary is important. Our end goal to learn English is to speak fluent English, isn't it? And in order to speak English, vocabulary is important to building a good base for vocabulary. And then improving that vocabulary is absolutely important, guys. Because when you speak, you use words. So vocabulary is important for any language learning. And today I have this awesome technique through which you can improve your vocabulary, that too, right? With your day-to-day routine. It's very easy to follow. So are you all ready for this, guys? If you are ready, please let me know in the comment section. So before beginning, please subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss out on any lesson that I post for you on this channel. Please like the video and share it with your friends too. So now coming back to today's lesson, that is how to improve your vocabulary. Well, this is one of the fastest way and a very well proven technique to improve your vocabulary. That is called active uses. And recall active uses. Now, this is a technique that can help you to improve your English and your vocabulary. And you will see a significant differences, right? So first of all, let me tell you a particular situation regarding vocabulary. Okay, so when you are learning vocabulary, when you are trying to improve it, there are going to be certain situations. And this technique is answer to all those problems. For example, let's understand this particular situation so that you know how to imply it, okay? How to use it and how to get benefit, you know, the maximum benefit out of this particular technique. So listen to this particular situation now. You have learned a word, okay? Say you have learned 10 words, okay, in a week, and you have learned 10 words in a week. Now, after learning those 10 words, you want to speak them. But whenever you go and speak them out, whenever you want to speak these particular words, what happens? You are not able to speak them. You know the meaning. It's there with you, right? It's not like you don't know the meaning. Obviously, you know the meaning because you have learned that word. Is it there with you, but then still it's like you are not able to use it at that particular situation, the real life situation. That means you are not able to use the particular word in the real time. When the situation arises where you have to speak it, the problem is in your speaking. Okay, because at times you are not sure about the uses. You know the meaning, you know the word, but you are not sure how to use it in a particular sentence or how to use it while speaking, because you might not have, you know, enough confidence, or you might have not enough practice to use it in a, you know, particular sentences, right? That's why you are not able to do it. You are not able to use it at that particular time. But if you listen the word somewhere, if you listen it or you read it somewhere, you interact with that particular word, you will say, oh, I've just learned that word and I know the meaning of that particular word. I know this word is familiar. But when it comes to uses of the word for speaking, at times problem arises. Now how to deal with this problem, guys? How to use all that words that you are learning whenever you are speaking English, so that you become fluent and you become more attractive while speaking English, so that your English sounds advanced. So this is a particular technique for you, and this technique is the answer which is known as active uses. And recall the particular technique of active uses and recall. So basically, this particular technique is divided into two parts, okay? Part 1, active uses, and part 2, active recall. Let's focus on the part number 1 of this particular technique. That is the active uses. So when I talk about active uses, Active use is there is something involved in a process so that you are comfortable in using the particular word. Active listening is actively involved in the process of listening whatever you are listening. You are to your absolutely attentive, right? You are deliberately trying to listen those things. You are making efforts to listen to it completely. Similarly, active uses. So the word active here means that you are active participant in this particular process, okay, that you are trying to make those efforts from your side, that you are trying to use it. And uses means to use that particular word that you are learning. So active uses means deliberately finding situations in which you are able to use the word. And active uses means not only just while you are practicing your English speaking skills, no, but in the real time situation. In the real time situation, that is the situation when you are having conversation with your friends or colleagues, or maybe the situation in which you have to speak in English. The problem is that you are not able to use those words in the real time situation, right? But active uses allows you to use that particular word in the real time situation, okay? So active uses. Now, how to do it? This is the question, how to do it, how to take up this active uses. The very first step of active uses is when you learn a particular word, you learn the meaning of that word, you look at the example sentences, you create some sentences of your own. Now when you create those sentences, it's just not that you have created that sentence, that's it's the work is done. Now you have created the sentences, work is done. No, that's just a foundation. You lay the particular foundation to the process of active uses. Now this is that beginning of that process, just the beginning, right? So what you have done is you have to kick start the process of active uses, right? Whenever you are framing the sentences, you are own. When you frame those sentences and then speak them out loud, what you are doing is you are conditioning your brain and your mouth muscles to use that particular word in a sentence, okay? You are developing confidence to use that particular word in a sentence. And in conversation, not just your speaking practice, no, but in the conversation, that is the real life situation. So you will be speaking that word out comfortably in that real time situation, right? When you require to speak in English, guys, there are going to be various situations, right? So where you have to make conversation with your friends, colleagues, or maybe you are required to speak in a particular situation, and at that time you will be able to use that word comfortably. That is what we have to achieve, and active users helps us to do that. Now what you have covered the first step of active users, that is to take the word, learn the meaning, and then framing your own sentences, right? What you have to do is you have to start finding the opportunities in which you can use that particular word actively. Find the opportunities where you will use that particular word, where you are required to use that particular word. That is active uses, okay? That you are actively using it to your day-to-day life or day-to-day situations. And this will help you to become fluent in English, because now you are conscious about using the particular word. What happens at times, guys, when you are not even conscious about using the words, right, that we are learning, but we are here, you developing the consciousness to use that particular word whenever situation arises, to so use the word. This is active uses, okay? Now let's move on to the part number 2. The technique is active recall. Okay, active recall. Now what is active recall? Let me give you an example, guys. First, you are talking to somebody, okay, and a person asks you, what were you wearing yesterday? And you will take some time to think about it, to retrieve that information, okay? And I was wearing a yellow dress yesterday, or maybe I was wearing a blue shirt yesterday. So that a particular information that you are retrieving, that is called recalling, okay? And that is you are retrieving something from your memory. You are retrieving information from your memory, okay? Now active recall is something that helps you to retain the language that you are learning whatever you are learning it, you should be there. Or you are learning, if you take up that technique of active recall with the active uses, when you combine these two techniques, guys, together, what happens is to become a long term fixed word in your memory. That means it becomes a permanent in your memory, okay, which is comfortable for you to think, right? That word is there is in your memory, and when you want to think about it, basically when you want to retrieve, you will be able to do it comfortably within no time. That is what we want to achieve now. Active recall, how to practice it, what exactly active recall does to you. So active recall is basically intentionally recalling the word from your memory, okay? And it's not about you have to go look at the meaning again in the dictionary and now you are testing yourself. No, you are not testing yourself, you are testing your memory, because you can go and check out the meaning once again, but the thing is that will it help you at the time of speaking? Because when you have to speak it in the real time, you have to retrieve it from your memory. That's what I have created a brain right now in English. So that's what you are doing, you are creating that memory bank of words in English, okay? So whenever you want to retrieve it, you are able to retrieve it quickly. And for that, what we are practicing, active recall, is kind of a practice of that particular real life situation that you will faced with. You know, for example, you can practice active recall, you have learned 10 words in a week, okay? Now on Sunday, let's take Sunday, you are sitting there and you are trying to actively recall how many words did you learn, right? And you can make a list about those words, okay? And you can list them out down, and if you are listening them down, that means you are remembering all those words that you have learned, right? So what you can do is you can create some example sentences, once again using all those words. Don't write, okay, the meaning created example sentences, and then later on you can check whether the sentences that you have created match the particular meaning or not, okay? Because when you use a particular word in a sentences, you use it according to yourself, its meaning. This is a process of, you know, active recall, basically a method to active recall the word. So method number 1 is to create a list of that words that you have learned after a week, within a week, right? Or you might have learned 15 words, or might you have learned, you know, 15, more than 15, or 7 words might be you have learned, right? According to your own capacity. I'm not saying that you learn 10 or 15 words, according to your capacity. At times you are getting to learn English, you might have given the time according to your particular schedule. What you can do is, to all the words that you have learned, you have to list them, okay? Write them down and create a new example sentences, then cross check whether it's correct or not, whether you are using them correctly according to the meaning or not. If you are doing it correctly, then bravo, congratulations, you are able to retain the word for a longer time. And this is one of the way to fix it in your memory and to make this word comfortable for users when you want to speak it. Method number 2, well, method number 2 is to practice the particular technique of active recall. Is what then, when you are learning a word, you creating some examples sentences. For example, what you have to do is to take a separate sheet of paper and write down those sentences, and I leave a blank where the word is supposed to be, you know, used. Leave a blank for example, let's take a word famished, right? And you can say she could not wait for the pizza to arrive because she was, you know, blank, she was famished, right? So leave a blank there, do not write the word. Now created a particular worksheet like this at that time of this week, right? So what you can do is you can just take that particular worksheet up and solve that worksheet. That means you through those particular sentences you are creating to recall this words corresponding, right, to the meaning from your memory. It's like you are retrieving those words from your memory, and this is going to help you to remember the words, fix them in your memory, and then use them later on, right? So this will help you to improve your vocabulary, because half of the time we face this particular problem of not improving the vocabulary, because we lose 80% of the words we are learning and they are lost, totally lost. Okay, so because we never use them and we have to start this cycle all over again of learning words, practicing them, and then again we stop using them. We do not practice active use, active recall, and then they are lost from our memory. So if we start using this particular technique of active uses and active recall, the words that we are learning, we are able to use that, right? Because they will stay in our mind, and English will improve much faster than before. So your efforts will yield good results. So practice active uses and active recall. So this technique is for you guys. That was the technique of active uses and active recall. So this particular technique that I have told you today will solve all your vocabulary problems. So I think that is for this today's video. So if you like the video, please give thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Take care.